A lot of photographs, even some of the the no weapons, the no bullying, no weapon. Yeah. We took photographs in some high school in. It wasn't in Oregon, but it was near Washington, so it's still in the Pacific Northwest, near Seattle. And we took some of those. We just adapted some of those posters, and even for example, like this for the map. We did a lot of research, finding real maps of real buildings and trying to be quite precise with the scale, the layout, the locations, because we really wanted everything to feel genuine and to, sometimes you can go really wrong in a game if you just start to forget about the scale and the detail. So we really wanted to have things right, like having this kind of fire hose at this place. And since the game takes place in October, and we are in the US, there is already a lot of Halloween decorations and stuff like that. We wanted to have the game at the anchor in reality, but also of course, we have a lot of references. We are huge fan of some TV shows, of books, of movies, and I think that in Life is Strange, the setting was really good to have a lot of those Easter eggs that will speak to the players and put the game into a pop culture reality. So there is a lot of stuff that is scattered around the game. If you look at every license plate in the game, you'll see that the letters, they are meaning some. In episode 1 is titles of TV shows that somehow we liked or that were somehow inspiration in some part for the game. In episode 2, it's movies. In the dormitories, you have the room which Red Rum. Someone wrote Red Rum on the slate.
It's the number of the room in The Shining.
Yes, and so it shows that we love us as developers the movie, but also that the characters in the game, of course, know about this movie because it exists in their real world, and they are making jokes about it.
We knew that we had to hire an American scriptwriter. We sent some tests to few writers that were recommended that we knew, and Christian Divine. We had a Skype with Christian. After maybe 2 minutes, we all knew that it was going to be him. I had this kind of vision of him in the office, working with us.
Since we've chosen him, he was at 100% and even 200% in the project. With us, he completely understood what we want to do with the characters and with the story and with the different themes we wanted to talk about. During the motion capture session, we asked the actor and the actress to, when they meet, Max and Warren meet the first time here on the parking lot, we asked them, they were trying to kiss themselves, but you can't do that in the United States. In fact, as French, we were thinking that, it's cool, they are going to kiss themselves. Warren tried to kiss Max,
to kiss Max on the cheek.
We've never done that, so we changed after a discussion with a writer and a lot of friends. We said, okay, we should switch to a hug. So we changed the animation to have just Warren try to hug Max and not kiss her. And this is a kind of mistake we can do as French people. So we have to be very careful about that.
And it was really good
because in France you can.
In
say
France,
hello by kissing a girl like this,
by just having a peek on the cheek, and not in the US. And this is the kind of stuff where having an American writer was really needed. We made some other mistakes, like on this parking at the beginning we had the parking spots which were really small, and Christian said to us that this is not American parking spots. In the US you have large parking spots because we have big cars, so we changed that. And we did that for various things, like sometimes a sign were not at the right position or something that was not perfectly true to reality.
So, Chloe's house. This is the very, very first scene we've made for the game. So this is really the scene that we have modified a lot to create Life is Strange.
This is also the scene with which we sold the game to Square Enix. That's the scene we showed to publisher.
The first time I tried the game, it was the Chloe's room, a really early prototype, and it felt fantastic to play it. I was literally smiling while playing it because the scene was working really great already. Even though the environment, the characters were not final, it was really really good to play.
And we decided to use this scene because every mechanism is here, but there's also a scene that shows really what Life is Strange is, because it's a story about those two girls trying to reconnect. We had the two main characters. We had strong issues with what happened with David later. So we have the environmental storytelling when you're visiting a different part of the house. We have Zen sequence. It had the feeling that we really wanted to push for the game. This slow-paced, nostalgic feeling. I think that this scene is really a really good one to show that in episode 1.
At the beginning, it wasn't exactly like that. We got different outcomes, and so the scene which is in the game now is really different from the very first prototype. At the very beginning, it was only the arguing with David we have done in motion capture, and I've played with Jean-Luc. So Jean-Luc,
you were doing Chloe.
Yeah, I was playing Chloe, and Jean-Luc was playing. No, I was playing David. And Jean-Luc is a great writer who has written the original story. So we have played all together because we didn't want to. We didn't add the money. In fact, to have a optic motion capture shooting. So we try by ourselves to have animation for the prototype, and the animation is quite ugly. The characters also are
the
ugly.
first version were ugly, and there were at the beginning no textures. We had version with only the grey characters. We were really weird without hair, so we had a hairless Chloe.
And I think Max is quite frightening. The smoke and all the FX elements, they are made following the same idea as non-realistic, but like it looks like undrawn smoke a little. But it's really, really beautiful, and our FX artist has made a lot of FX like this. We can see also the wind outside. The wind effects are really beautiful.
And we tried to be as close as possible of the concept art. Like ideally the game, we wanted it to look like some sort of animated concept art. And I think it's really the 3D environment artist and the concept artist, they did a really great job on that, because if you look at the concept art for this room and the 3D final scene, it's quite pretty close. We have those low detailed textures, but this feeling of light but it's a lot of details that we try everywhere. Even if the lighting, if you look just at the light on the drawer, even on the light we have this small bending that gives the feeling that the light is hand painted. So we did a lot of work on everything, on lighting, visual effects, textures, to have this cohesive style. And sometimes the player might not completely notice it, but it still gives this cohesion to the game.
Like for example, for the Chloe's house, how rich Chloe's parents are, so what kind of house they can afford. So this get painted. In concept art, we do like every room, or even the map, the floor map. In Mac's rooms, there's a lot of photos on the wall, because she likes to take photos, and you got like the bands, poster of bands, which she like, you have to feel like who they are, and just by looking at the room.